She pulls my trigger, got me up alright. It's a danger pretty here in our city. She pulls my trigger, got me up alright. It's a danger pretty here in our city.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Night Ride. I know it's been a while. We're gonna first talk about Invincible Season 3, Episode 6. Yeah, man, most people here gotta be like, dude, we've seen this shit already.
Right. This is old news.
Right.
Well, not for us. We've been staying away from spoilers for the most part. And yeah, do you want to go ahead and start off what you thought about episode 6?
All right. Okay, first of all, what I guess it's kind of a filler. For me, it was kind of a filler episode because it has nothing to do sort of with the main storyline, but technically the last episode did, so I guess that's why it's sort of like, let's go ahead and take a break from that and like do something else. But I like it though, even though it was a filler. I liked it. I liked when they showed a different perspective of what happened there. Like not everybody reacted the same. And it actually showed that people can hate Invincible and think that he was in on it or or something like that. So I actually like seeing that perspective from Powerplex. Character was a little meh, like especially in the beginning because he's kind of a whiny little guy. And his wife kind of manipulated the whole situation in some sense or form. Because I'm gonna be real, as sad as their deaths were, I did not feel bad for his wife. I was like, bro, you first of all, he said I'm just gonna go to the cops, and you manipulated him not to. You manipulated him to kill his not kill his son, but like bring his son there. It's like what you said, like, dude, you got no like babysitter? Like you actually had to bring your baby all the way to a dangerous fight? Like it was just so irresponsible, and I was just kind of there like, dude, like I don't know. In that situation, I kind of blame the wife. I mean, he was obviously kind of out of his mind too, but it was so like they could have been avoided. But it definitely creates a good villain. Like I'm definitely gonna see him probably in the future being more of like an arch nemesis or something. I don't know if he's gonna get tougher. I don't really know much about Invincible's universe because I don't like to spoil myself. And the side stories were okay. They're I guess I don't want to sound mean. They're like a little forgettable. Like I like what Rex and Ray were doing, and I like that Monster Girl got like her thing or whatever. But it was just kind of like meh. But the funniest one for me is the side story with Paul. That actually made me laugh, dude. Poor Paul, man. I was like, damn, this poor guy.
Right.
It was hilarious though. And obviously, I got to talk about the scene at the end, which is probably going to be explained maybe the next episode or the one after that. Because it's like, dude, all these Invincibles from many different universes, and a lot of them are not like Mark. Mainly all of them are not like Mark. They actually kill and use their power to their full extent. So it's going to be a showdown. It's going to be something.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I can give this episode a 7.
Okay. 7's not bad. Okay, so for me, starting off, I've got a couple of things. Let me just talk about the episode in general, and then I got a couple fun facts here. The episode in general, I agree with you, is okay. I do feel the same about what's his face Duvall Scott.
Scott Duvall, yeah.
Scott Duvall. Yeah, he is like a little bit of a whiny character. The how do I explain this? I can understand his sentiment, right? When it comes to wanting that type of revenge. But I mean, you were put in so many situations where you could clearly see that Invincible wasn't the issue. And not only that, but it almost felt forced at sometimes. His wife also being that pushy is like, dude, they
Yeah.
were both on a level of like Delulu that was just it almost felt forced. It almost did not feel natural. It almost felt like, okay, so this is one of those cases where both of you are this messed up in the head, right? Um, I did, in a sense, like if they would have given more context to the wife and why she was like that with him, maybe that story would have been I more believable, and also like it would have, gotten me reeled in a little bit more. Like what I was telling you, like that theory, it was like, what if she was his sister's best friend? She was always interested in Scott, and she
Oh
wanted to
yeah,
be
yeah.
with him so bad she'd turn into like the literal villain just to be with him. That
Mm-hmm.
would have been a very compelling storyline. I would have loved that. But it was just so weird seeing this woman with a child, um, you know, make the decisions she was making, and taking those forcing him basically into doing the things he was doing. It was really odd.
It was almost like
But
she had more hatred than Scott.
yeah, 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 yeah. It was very weird. It was very weird. But anyways, all in all, yeah, I know what you were saying about like the side stories with Monster Girl and Robot. I mean Rudy. He has a name now.
I have a name.
Um, that's gonna be interesting now that Monster Girl's not gonna have that de aging effect, so they're both gonna be able to grow up.
Wait, doesn't she have a
Um,
name too?
uh, yeah, Monster Girl. Yeah, her. Anyways, point is, I agree. The episode was maybe they're setting up for something bigger, because we know that Invincible doesn't do anything by accident, right? Everything's like planned out. They have these characters who, they show at one point, and then they'll eventually come back later for some greater purpose. So we'll just have to see how that plays out. Now, for the fun facts regarding the episode, first of all, obviously we deduced Aaron Paul for the voice of
Mm.
Scott, which was, it was pretty cool, because I at one point forgot it was Aaron Paul. After the few initial scenes, I was totally slipped my. You know how like Rex, you always know it's Jay from Big Mouth.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
You didn't think Todd the whole time.
exactly, exactly. So they did
Yeah.
a really good job, which is great. I'm not saying that, I keep calling him. I'm gonna keep calling him Jay, because I forget this dude's name. What's
Yeah, I'm
that
not
dude's
gonna
name?
remember. You mean Rex or the
Yeah,
actor?
yeah, the actor.
Oh, okay. I don't know the actor's name.
Damn it, damn it. And I know who he is. That's the crazy thing. I know who it is. I just, for the life of me, I can't remember his name. I'm so sorry. Anyways, point is, I'm not trying to say he's bad. He does a great job. It's just, okay. Anyways, so yeah, Aaron Paul as Powerplex. We had his wife Becky, who's Kate Mara, who's on House of Cards. She was on 24 and a show called Teacher. You nerds might know her as Sue Storm in the 2015 Fantastic Four.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ! That's the only way I recognize her.
Yeah, she was also a U.S. Marshal in Iron Man 2. Um, and apparently she also played Aaron Paul's wife on, like, I guess they played opposite each other on an episode of Black Mirror.
Oh
Um,
wow.
this is interesting. Kyle, who's Amber's new dude,
Oh okay.
is voiced by Kerry Payton. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Carrie Payton, doesn't he voice the other dude in the show?
Black Samson.
Yeah.
Yep, but did you know he was also Cyborg on multiple iterations of Teen Titans?
Oh yeah, do I know Carrie Payton? He does He does a lot of voices actually.
Yeah, so there's that. Interesting. Um
Booyah.
William, okay. I personally didn't know this. Voiced by Andrew Rennells. And his boyfriend Rick is Luke McFarlane. We know Rennells from Girls, Big Mouth, or The Prom.
Oh my God, dude, he's the dude from Big Mouth playing the same exact fucking character, bro. Same exact dude.
Yes. Jessica Duvall, which is Scott's sister, is Heather Gonzalez. From Monster Hunter's Rise and Smite. This is an interesting one. You're gonna like this one. The elephant villain
Oh no,
is voiced by John DiMaggio.
dude. You know what's funny is there was like a moment there where I was like, Bender, but it's because his voice is kind of like you can distinguish his voice, but sometimes it's kind of hard because he's a really good voice actor. He can change his
Yeah,
voice a couple tunes and stuff like that, but that doesn't surprise me. Now he's a good
yeah.
actor.
So
Jake the
yeah,
dog.
so yeah. So interesting. It was interesting cast there for this episode.
They seem to do that a lot in this show, though. You know, like they actually get a lot of like famous people to voice certain characters, like what's his name? Those twins who
Oh
stole
yeah,
the Declaration of
okay.
Independence or whatever. They're voiced by one of the main characters in. He's voiced by the guy who played Blue Beetle in live action. That dude.
You're talking about Sholo Maridueña?
Yeah, that guy.
Really?
Yeah, he played both of them, obviously, because they're twins.
Oh,
And
interesting. That's
and
cool.
Multi-Paul was played by the guy who's Shang-Chi.
Oh shit! No way.
Yeah, that was funny.
His name is Simu Liu.
I was just kind of like, damn, like they just got always an all-star cast in every episode, playing random people. You're like, what the fuck?
That is pretty dope. That is pretty dope, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it kind of gets you curious because now every episode I'm gonna be paying attention. Like, oh, who the fuck is that? Every
Yeah,
time they
right.
introduce someone new.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah. That being said, all in all, the episode for me, it came in at like a. It wasn't like, oh my, yeah, like yeah, I get it. It was cool seeing Mark, have that like learning curve or having to mature that way because of now it's a point, a marker in his life where now the actions that he takes are going to weigh more on him because now he understands the gravity of certain situations, and that's cool. Like that alone will give the episode a 6.
Yeah. Also, to
But
understand that not everybody likes you.
yeah, exactly. So that alone will give the episode a 6. Everything else, it just wasn't emotionally compelling as some other episodes. So it's for me, it's gonna be like a solid 6, 6.5. I wouldn't give it a 7, but yeah, it's ranging somewhere around there.
Yeah,
And
it
with
wasn't boring.
wasn't boring. But anyways, with that being said, let's go ahead and segue into nerd news.
Nerd
Um,
news. Oh,
I'm
and
gonna
for
go ahead
those
and
of
give my.
you who
Oh
decided
yeah,
to stick around all these years and stuff like that, I was gonna mention on the night ride, so I'm gonna mention it now. The reason we were gone for so long is besides him coming over to Seattle and visiting me and being on vacation, is he was here for my wedding. He was one of my groomsmen. I just recently got married. And I'm so happy. So sorry we were gone for so long, but honestly, it was an important moment in my life. So no apologies.
there you go. For any of y'all who stuck it through with us through the years and who stuck it through this video, to be honest, go ahead and throw some congratulations down in the comments below. We'd appreciate that.
It has been 5 years,
Anyways,
huh?
yeah, just say congratulations. Don't say anything else. That way people will be like, what the fuck are they saying congratulations for? And then they have to watch the video to understand the reference.
Yeah, you imagine?
All right, so segueing into nerd news. I don't have much, so I'm gonna go ahead and start us off. Um so the first thing I want to mention is in terms of games, like video games, we've got a new game that came out recently, which is Clair Obscur Expedition 33, which is a turn-based RPG developed by Sandfall Interactive and published by Kepler Interactive. It's got a lot of buzz around it. A lot of people are saying it's really good. I haven't had the chance to play it myself. Honestly, getting back from Washington and getting back into the routine of life hasn't really granted me much opportunity to play video games. But if I do get a chance, I will try it out. Since there is a lot of people saying that it's really good. Um, Other than that, we have a couple things for Monster Hunter Wilds. We've gotten the there's currently an event going on. I think it's called the Sakura Dance Festival or something like that, where you can
April
log
makes
in.
sense.
Yeah, you'll log in. You'll get a couple of exclusive items if you complete certain events and do a couple of things. So there's that. You also, we're getting the basically the second part of the Title One update, which is the Arc Tempered Raid Dow. For those of you who know Monster Hunter Wilds, then you'll know what that is. For those of you who
I was
don't
gonna say
know,
I don't know shit.
for those of you who don't know, Raid Dow is a monster in the game. It is a dragon, and this camera is
Whoa! Where'd you
losing
go?
focus. There we go.
There you go.
It is a dragon in the game, except tempered just means it's a higher difficulty. And then arc tempered is like the new difficulty. Tempered monsters were quote unquote harder. I mean, there's some who are hard, there's some who are easy, but now with this arc tempered thing, we're opening up the possibilities of more difficult, challenging threats to players, because a lot of people were complaining that it was too easy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Malami.
So other than other than that, Pokemon Pocket TCG has a set dropping pretty soon. I don't have the date in front of me, but the new set features Alolan Pokemon. So we're gonna be getting Solgaleo, Cosmogem, Luna. I forget the moon Pokemon's name. It's slipping my mind right now. Sorry guys, it's late. You could just go ahead and throw the name down in the comments. I'd appreciate it. The biggest news revolving that set is an item card, rare candy, which basically allows you to jump from a basic Pokemon to a stage 2 Pokemon. Which, by the way, Carlos, that means basically it forces your Pokemon to go from Charmander to Charizard without having to go through Charmeleon.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's going to be very busted. It's going to break the meta, in my opinion, because, obviously stage 2 Pokemon are, quote unquote, the more busted Pokemon in the game.
Mm.
So the fact that you can get those out turn 2, like you turn 1, you play your basic Pokemon, you have to pass your turn because you can't use that item on the first turn. You pass your turn, now it's your turn again, and then you go ahead, pop her a candy, and now you have a stage 2 Pokemon on the field. And there's some of them that are just busted, dude. Like they have poke powers, poke abilities, which really changes the state of the game. And being able to do that so early on is really going to change the way that people play that game. So there's that. Super exciting. So we'll have to see. And that brings me to the end of my nerd news. One last thing, and it's that they're replaying some of the Star Wars movies in
Oh yeah,
theaters,
the
which
anniversary.
is
Yeah.
which is pretty dope. If you want to see some of the OGs Star Wars, go ahead
Now they're
and
considered OG. Damn, bro, making us sound
OG.
old.
I don't know. I mean,
Revenge of the
way
Sith
old.
came out in theater, bro.
It's
Well, I
way
was
older than we are.
no, because right now they're re-releasing Revenge of the Sith, like
Yeah,
the
yeah, no,
one
no,
that.
but I'm saying though, the fucking obviously the Star Wars flicks are way older than we are.
Oh
But
yeah.
like, yeah. But anyways, really cool. If you get a chance, go to your local theater if they have it, right? And then go check that out. Anyways, that's it for me. Carlos, you have the floor.
Well, I don't have a lot going on. To segue off video games,
Hmm.
Marvel Rivals, and
Cool.
I know it. I'm a comic book guy, so I'm a segue. In Marvel Rivals, there's a character named Jeff the Shark. Jeff the Shark has existed in Marvel Comics as a little side character or whatever. Marvel Rivals, when it came out until now, has boosted so many profits for Marvel in merchandise for this little shark thing, to the point where now he's finally getting his own comic series. Issue number 1 comes out next month. And apparently he's selling so well that he could maybe become one of the mascots for Marvel in a lot of Marvel merchandise just because of Marvel
Wow.
Rivals.
Look at
So
that.
that's pretty crazy. I mean, I get it. It's the cute appeal. You always need that cute little character or whatever, like a to be the mascot. It's cool. I'm not sure I'm going to read it, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to be anything too eventful. Just a bunch of little funny stories, probably. And the other news I have, which I think it's very interesting because I watched it as a kid. You probably watched it as well. But if those of you who can remember, Disney's Gargoyles, which was a story about 5 gargoyles who woke up after ancient time and started hanging out in New York and basically had to live their lives there because of a magic turned them into stone or something. I can't really remember the specifics, but it was a good show and it was kind of mature, honestly, considering the fact that it was Disney. Is getting a live action series on Disney Plus.
Ooh.
Interesting. I know. Some fans are upset. Some fans are like, cool. We're going to see how it goes. It has James Wan and Duberman, I don't know his first name, as producers developing this series. As you might know them, they have teamed up before in Annabelle, The Nun, and the movie It. So a lot of horror stuff. So I guess we gotta see how this is gonna go. I believe it comes out the end of next year or something like that. Because of obviously all the CGI and all that stuff that it's gonna take to make them look real. But I'll see it. I'll watch it. Depending how the trailer looks, I'll watch it. Give it a shot.
My only
Plus, I
complaint is
also
that
feel like it's been a fat minute. Like all the newer generation probably don't even know what that is.
yeah, I was gonna say my only complaint is why do they have to do it live action? Why can't they just revamp a good animated version of Gargoyles? I feel like I don't know. I feel like that would have been really cool. But
I feel like if they're gonna shoot their shot with live action, especially because Disney lately has been very lenient, like they're kind of like they don't care mode. That I feel like they can make it actually mature, make it a little bit more like maybe on the gritty side, a little bit of blood and stuff. Kind of cool.
Yeah.
But depends how other fans see it, I guess. And well, I don't really have any more nerd news. That's pretty much all I got. I was gonna talk about the Silver Surfer from the Fantastic Four trailer, but I don't know if you've seen it.
Oh, I haven't. You know me.
There's a giant argument because they decided to go with the female Silver Surfer and not the male one. So people are like up in arms about it. And I'm just kind of there like, huh?
Who's playing Silver Surfer?
You ever seen Ozark?
No.
Okay, then you're not going to know who it is. It's this
Who
female.
is it?
She's blonde. What have you seen her in other than Ozark? She was in the latest Wolfman movie. I believe she's starring in another horror movie.
What's her name?
Dude, if I could tell you, Julia Gardner.
Yeah. Where have I seen her? You're right. I have seen her somewhere. Dude, wasn't she? Christ Almighty, what was she in?
But as some fans who are kind of mad because they only know the Silver Surfer by being a man or from the movies or video games or whatever, she's playing the Silver Surfer who's a female from an alternate universe where instead of Silver Surfer losing his wife and becoming a Herald of Galactus, it is the opposite. The wife loses the husband and she becomes the Herald of Galactus. She's not playing the Silver Surfer everyone knows. She's playing a different character who becomes Silver Surfer in a different universe in the comics. So technically, it's not a female Silver Surfer, if people want to see it that way. Depends how you see it.
I probably saw Julie Garner in the Get Down. Did watch the Get Down, so probably there's where I saw her. Get Down.
That's also, all I got.
So 2 quick things. One, I had seen this. It was, I guess, it was supposed to be people suggesting other people for that role, and they suggested Sydney Sweeney as a Silver Surfer.
Okay.
And you know the internet, dude. They fucking sexualize the shit out of this poor woman. Yeah, I mean, it's the internet, dude. Right? But yeah, it was like, oh, what if Sydney Sweeney was the Silver Surfer? And I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. What the fuck?
People need to get over the sexism shit, though. They want it to be a man so badly. It's like, dude.
Yeah. People need to fucking chill. Anyways, I'm sending you the photo of Sydney Sweeney. Silver Surfer.
No. Anyways, as we're saying this, God. We respect women, by the way.
100%. You got to keep this in though. That's very funny. Anyways, the
Of course. Witness.
witness me. Anyways,
Ugh.
the other thing is that I guess they wrapped up on the production for Voltron, the live action film.
Oh, dude, I totally forgot about Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill, yeah. So yeah, just an interesting tidbit there. Anyways, we've gone way past what we typically do for the night
Yeah,
ride.
it's because it's been a while.
It's been a while, yeah. Anyways, hopefully y'all enjoyed this night ride with us. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you thought about Invincible, episode 6, season 3, and let us know about any of the nerd news we talked about today. Remember to say congratulations down in the comments if you stayed that far. And with that being said, we'll see each other next time. Till then, peace out.
Peace.